Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Enterprise, Season 2, Episode 4, Dead Stop. So, at first, this is actually kind of an interesting episode, because for one, it's not a two-part episode from the last one to this one. It is two different episodes, but it is a continuation. So, I have complained a lot, if you guys have watched my other reviews, of like the Next Generation and Voyager specifically. Not so much Deep Space Nine, but mostly the Next Generation and Voyager, how the ship can go through a beatdown in an episode, like holes being blown into it and all sorts of damage and everything going wrong. But when you start the very next episode, boom, it's pristine, it looks brand new, and it looks great. So that's been a big complaint of mine. Whereas like Deep Space Nine, like the entire series, that station was falling apart and O'Brien was the only one keeping it together. So this episode is actually really interesting in the fact that it broke away from the Next Generation and it broke away from Voyager to kind of say, hey, we know there's something wrong with the ship and we're going to keep working on it. So, in the last episode, a major hole was blown into the saucer section of the ship. It was massive. It was impressive. It was probably my favorite part of that episode. So, that hole is still there. Like, it's amazing. And so, this whole episode is like Archer says, it's been 4 days since the minefield, and Malcolm's leg, he's still injured, which again, that's something like somebody's injured in one episode, they're fine the next episode. It doesn't matter. So, Malcolm is still injured. He's doing like physical therapy with Dr. Phlox in this episode. So, it's kind of interesting. They talk to a Tellarite ship, which again, we don't see the Tellarites, but this I think is at least the second time they've mentioned them. And Tellarites are huge in the Star Trek world. They're very, very important in the original series and a little bit into the Next Generation, I think. They're part of the 4 founding members of the Federation. So it's kind of interesting that we talk to them, but we don't see them. And they're like, hey, there's a repair station. And it's a bitchin' repair station. When Enterprise gets there, nobody responds, nobody says anything, but it immediately starts changing. The atmosphere changes to accommodate humans, the station expands so Enterprise will fit in there, and all sorts of stuff's going on. It even learns their languages, so it starts speaking English to them. It's the first time in Enterprise that we've seen a food replicator. And of course, Trip is like, give me some catfish, which I love catfish. I haven't had catfish in years. But of course, that's his go-to food. And it does it. It replicates the food. So it's very reminiscent of the Next Generation. Just like we saw the holodeck in Season 1, we're seeing food replicators in Season 2. It's really kind of interesting. The whole episode just takes a twist where the computer keeps asking, like, okay, you need to pay us this, or this. And Archer's like, oh, shit, I don't know. Let's go with that one. Which, by the way, this episode was directed by Roxanne Dawson, the actress that played B'Elanna Torres, and she evidently was the voice of the computer. I can't really hear it, to be honest with you, but she was, which is now the second time she's played a computer voice. So as we watch it, stuff of course goes wrong. Trip and Malcolm get too curious and and they try to like go exploring. Mayweather, like the computer tries to like kidnap him and give them a fake body, and then Archer finds a ton of like alien bodies of Klingons and Vulcans and other stuff. There's supposedly a Cardassian in there. I didn't see it, but whatever. And it's interesting, but by the time we get to that point, I was like, this whole episode, if you had just stuck with this freaky advanced repair station, I would have been down. Like, I didn't need the whole kidnapping subplot. And then, of course, Archer blows it up because that's what he does, and then we start to watch it repair itself. That would be amazing. I really hope we see this station again. I seriously doubt we will, but that would be amazing. I loved the station. I thought that was super cool, and I would love to learn more about it. The whole like kidnapping subplot and everything like that, I was bored. Like, I just didn't think it was that interesting. Now, for those who have seen this one, what did you guys think about it? What did you think about like the whole continuation from the last episode? What did you think about the Tellarites? What did you think about the food replicator? What did you think about the Mayweather being kidnapped and the station repairing itself? Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time for A Night in Sickbay.